Perfect. All right. So let's talk about why dry hair equals short hair. This is like, let's talk about why dry hair equals short hair. So again, if your hair is dry, that's why it's short. So let's talk about it. And you guys do have a 20% off on our leave-in butter right now. If you want to grab it, our entire line is designed to help you have longer hair. Our entire line is very effective for hair growth if you use it in a healthy hair care routine. And I teach you the healthy hair care routine, so you have everything that you need. So if you don't listen, you'll just stay bald headed. But this is why dry hair is short hair. If your hair is dry, it will not grow, period. So everybody's head produces an oil on it called sebum. So if you, this is not good. So this is a regular hair strand, right? And everybody's scalp produces this sort of oil called sebum. So this sebum is designed, there we go. So this sebum is designed to travel down the length of your hair. So, and it coats your hair, fully coats it, and it keeps it strong, it keeps it healthy, etc. But for us curly girls, right, our sebum doesn't travel down the complete length of the hair. It stops like right here, which means the rest of our hair is left very naked and dry. And if that sebum isn't coating our hair, or if something isn't coating our hair, what happens is that hair breaks, and then you're sad because you don't have long hair. So that means that if dryness is what's causing your hair to break off and not grow, that means that the solution cannot be a viral product or a viral hair oil, okay? It has to be doing something to coat your hair because our sebum doesn't do it. If you ever wonder why girlies who have straight hair are always washing their hair because it's oily, that's because their sebum does an amazing job. Yeah, we don't experience that, so we have to do it ourselves. And our entire line is designed to keep you from having dry hair. Moisture is going to be the only thing that will lead to longer hair. That's it. Nothing else will do. If you want longer hair, number 2, moisture is going to equal long hair. Everybody in here, I want you to comment your hair growth goal, and I want you to comment what your hair type is, okay? Our entire line is designed to help you have moisture so that you can have longer hair, because this is the only way that's going to happen. This is a hydrating, moisturizing line. I wouldn't have it any other way. Again, this is my fresh twist out, you guys. Fresh twist out. Day 1, I took it out today. I did it yesterday, took it out today. Used the leave-in butter as my leave-in conditioner. Do y'all see how amazing my hair looks? Because I have been using this line consistently and learned that moisture equals long hair. That's it. So, who here struggles to keep their hair hydrated? Like, who here, for some reason, no matter what you do, your hair just does not stay hydrated? Sunshine says 4C. Broad strapline. Angel says 4C, 4A, mid-back. Angel says me. Anybody else? You guys have about 15 minutes left on that flash sale. Our leave-in butter is currently 20% off. This entire line is dedicated to helping you not have dry hair, but have moisture so your hair can be longer. That's it, because that's the only way to grow hair. That's why we don't sell hair growth oils. We don't sell miracle products. Oils are very good for helping to lock in moisture, but they're not some sort of secret where you put it on your scalp and it grows. Nothing you put on your scalp can increase the hair that your follicles produce. Science backs it up. It just isn't possible, okay? Does it work well on high porosity hair? So our entire line is formulated for both high and low porosity, because low porosity girlies, you struggle to get moisture in your hair. That's why our formulas are not very greasy or heavy. They're thick and rich, but not greasy and heavy. And for my high porosity girlies, you struggle to keep moisture in your hair. And our entire line is formulated with occlusives. Occlusives are like oils, butters, things like that help to lock in the moisture. So it's a nice balance. So whatever porosity you have, you will enjoy the entire line. Angel says she received our leave-in butter and she loved it. T, exactly, because our leave-in butter is going to do this step, which leads to longer hair. Our entire line does this step, but the main thing is our leave-in butter. Again, my fresh twist out today, this is my natural hair, no extensions, no nothing. My twist out, I use the leave-in butter as a leave-in conditioner to make sure that my hair stayed hydrated. And my hair, even though I'm wearing it out, I know in about 2 weeks, my hair's still gonna look amazing. If you stay tuned to the lives, you'll see my hair as the days go by, and you'll see that it's gonna stay hydrated because I use the leave-in butter and because I use the entire line. I wash my hair with the Refresh shampoo, I deep condition with a deep hydration mask, and then I mix it with the oil, then use my leave-in butter, and then use the styler, okay? So, and of course, any hair growth questions you guys have, you can ask them in the chat. I will answer them, no problem. My goal is to make sure that you have all the tools to grow very long, healthy, natural hair. Okay? This is actually live. This is not pre-recorded. We are also on YouTube currently right now. This is live. So if you're just joining, this is our Hair Growth 101 series. This is episode 1. This series is designed to get you to longer hair in 2026. Like by the end of December, if you follow this series and if you use products that work for you, you will have longer hair. Your hair has no choice but to retain length. Most people don't retain length simply because they just don't know how. They think that if I just put an oil on my scalp, my hair will grow, and that is not how hair growth works. That's why no matter how many hair growth oils you try, no matter how many times you try to find the perfect product, your hair doesn't grow. And that's not, a lot of times it's not because of what you're using, it's because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Hair care leads to hair growth, not oil on the scalp, okay? And again, our line is catered to all porosities. In fact, your porosity really doesn't matter that much when it comes to what you use on your hair. It just really determines how your hair care routine is formulated. So it's for low and high porosity girlies. These formulas are great because they're not very greasy or heavy. For high porosity girlies, these are great because it helps to lock in moisture, which is what you struggle to do. So who here, again, I'm gonna ask the question again. Who here struggles with moisture? I'm gonna teach you guys how to keep your hair hydrated. It's very simple. If you struggle with dry hair, this is gonna like solve everything for you, and it's like a huge game changer. Where's my eraser? Who here struggles with dry hair? This what I'm about to tell you is gonna keep your hair hydrated for like 2 weeks, okay? Do you apply water while using the leave-in butter to do your twist? So when I did my twist out, I applied the, my hair was damp, right? And then I applied the leave-in butter, and then I applied the twisting cream, and then that was it. So yeah, okay. So here's how to keep your hair hydrated. How keep, I'm gonna write like this, keep hair hydrated. If you've been following the series, you already know what this is. So there are 2 steps to this. And again, this right here will keep your hair hydrated for weeks. Like, you will not struggle with moisture again. You will not struggle with dryness. I do this and have done this for years, and my hair never gets dry. Like, I can wear this twist out for like 2-3 weeks and my hair will not be dry. I will not have to reapply any product. The leave-in butter is designed to do exactly this, okay? And you guys have 10 minutes left. It is 20% off if you want to grab it. But exactly. And I will be posting a YouTube video of this twist out if you follow me on YouTube. Okay, so there are 2 steps to keep your hair hydrated. Very, very simple, but most people don't know, and that's why you struggle with dryness. It's a very, very, very easy fix. So the first one is actually adding water. Man, this marker sucks. H2O. That's the first step. Most people are doing this. Most people are adding water to your hair. You're doing this either with your leave-in conditioner, you're doing this with your sprays, your leave-ins, whatever. Adding water. Hydration literally means hydro, which means water. Okay, so adding the water is the first step. The only way anybody will mess this step up, which most people don't, the only way you really mess this step up is if you are trying to hydrate your hair, add water by using an oil. So like if your hair is dry and your first thought process is let me oil my scalp, that's why your hair is dry. Oils do not contain any water. They are occlusives. They help to lock stuff in, but they cannot add hydration. So if you're adding oil to hair that's already dry, you're just making dry hair shiny, and dry hair, like we discussed previously, breaks. The reason why your hair is short is 9 times out of 10 because it's dry. When hair is dry, it breaks and it doesn't stay on your head. So even though you might be growing your hair 24/7, you're not gonna see any length because the length is breaking off. So that is why this is so important. And that's why our entire line is formulated to help you retain hydration and retain moisture, because that's the only way to truly see longer hair and to truly retain length. That's it. Oils, hair growth oils in 2026, honestly, let's just cut them out. Like, let's just dip on them. They're not gonna work. So the first step is adding water. Most people do this, okay? Most people don't do the second step. The second step is very simple. It's the seal, okay? So the reason why people love our leave-in butter, again, is 20% off, is because Our leave-in butter has the technology to hydrate your hair and also lock the moisture in, so you do both of these steps in one. Most people, the reason why they don't do both these steps is because they just use one of these. So most people put a leave-in conditioner and then go on about their day, and they don't lock in the moisture, and so the next day they wake up, their hair is dry. That's usually what people do. So there are products that are solely for hydration, and then there are products that are solely for sealing, and then there are products like this one, our leave-in butter, that does both. Okay, and again, this is what's in my hair currently. This is a fresh twist out. Oh, I'm sorry, my hair looks so good. I haven't done a twist out in almost a year at this point, so it looks really good. But this is in my hair right now. This is a fresh twist out on wet hair, so you can see the growth, okay? All right, so water and then locking your hair in. So you want to lock the moisture in or seal the moisture in with some sort of oil or butter. Again, oils and butters do not contain water, so they're not going to mix with water. They're going to sit on top of water, and it's going to make it difficult for the water to escape. Water is designed to evaporate, right? So water is designed to evaporate, then that means it's naturally supposed to leave your hair. So using a sealant helps to slow down how fast that water leaves so that you can retain length. And this is the difference between somebody that will do their hair and wake up the next day and their hair is dry, and do their hair and it stays hydrated for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, etc. Like I said, I've been doing this method for years. That's why this product became so popular. The leave-in butter, which I only have about 7 minutes left on for 20% off. But the reason why this became so popular was because I've been on social media since 2021. I've been growing my hair since 2017. So I was using this product since 2017. I used to make all my products by myself, DIY. I have a degree in biology. I studied chemistry, so I did it myself because I couldn't find things in the industry that worked. And so what this did is help to lock moisture in. And so once I started using this consistently, my hair never gets dry again. Like, it just doesn't. The only time it might get dry is, like, for example, my silk press. When I washed my silk press yesterday after having it for four weeks, my hair was a little dry. And that's just because you can't put this in during a silk press, right? But on the regular, my hair just does not get dry like that because I've learned how to lock moisture in, retain moisture, so the moisture stays in my hair longer. And when moisture can stay in your hair longer, it's less likely to break. And when hair is less likely to break, you retain length, and that's how you see longer hair. So that's really the secret. It's not putting an oil on your scalp. It's not doing a viral hair growth trend. It's just using quality products and having quality techniques to keep your hair hydrated so that you can retain length. That's literally it. Can I use the full set to wash my hair? Yes, you can. So our bundle, which we'll do a flash show on next, comes with our shampoo, our refresh shampoo, our deep hydration mask, our essential hair oil, and our leave-in butter, all in 3. How about when you keep braids in for a while? Like I said, if you guys have any hair growth questions, please ask them below. Now is your chance to ask them in the chat, okay? So when I keep in braids, same principle. Wash my hair with the refresh shampoo, deep condition with the deep hydration mask and the oil, and then I will blow dry my hair with the heat protectant. We do not have a heat protectant, please use a heat protectant. And then I'll apply the leave-in butter on my hair, put it in some like random plaits, and then go get my hair braided. And then I'm basically good for the entire duration. So Kalila says she just got our bundle and people are sleeping on our products. I know. I think the reason that sets us apart is that I have a type 4 hair. Well, we're a faith-based business, first of all. That sets us apart. But I have type 4 hair, so I have coily hair. Like, I don't have curly hair. I have coily hair. And we formulate products specifically for hair like mine. Like, right now we're working on stylers. We're making sure those work for type 4 hair. We're not, like, I'm not thinking, oh, will this work for somebody that has 3B? I'm thinking, will this work for somebody that has 4C? So that's kind of how everything is formulated. And again, for tighter textures, your biggest issue is this. You don't know how to keep your hair hydrated, and you're gonna get so much breakage, and that's why you can't retain length. That's literally it. The tighter your hair is, the drier it naturally is, and the drier your hair is, the more likely it is to break if it's not taken care of, and that's why you struggle with growth. Not because you have the bad texture or anything like that. It's literally just because of this, okay? All right. Third thing. So if you're just joining, we're talking about how hair growth actually works. It's very simple. Anybody can grow hair. You just have to know how. That's what I believe, and so that's what I'm teaching you. So First of all, we talked about dry hair equals short hair. If your hair is short, it's because it's dry. There's no other in between. It's not because you didn't use the right viral oil. It's not because you didn't use the right hair growth trend. It's not because you wash your hair once a week versus once a month. It's simply because your hair is dry. Whatever you're doing is keeping your hair dry, and so that's why your hair is short. So that means that moisture is the only way to see longer hair. Again, not because you put oil on your scalp, not because you're doing anything. These three things will lead you to have longer hair in 2026. If you do these things consistently, your hair has no choice but to retain length. And so it has no choice but to be longer, okay? So again, if you listen to me, your hair will be long. If you don't listen to me, your hair will stay short, and that's a you problem, okay? Do you recommend a big chop for damaged hair or growing it out? So if your hair is damaged, you cutting your hair could be a fresh start, but it's not like if, for example, people that have relaxers, right? It's not like you won't grow your hair if you keep the relaxed ends on. If you take care of it, it will grow. The only thing I would caution is the line of demarcation between where your permed, relaxed, or heat damaged hair is and your natural hair is weaker, so it's more susceptible to breakage. So you just have to be more intentional about keeping your hair hydrated. But you can grow hair with relaxed ends on it, color damage, all that type of stuff. Most people just cut it off because it's not fun to look at. Like, I just cut some of my heat damage off. I got heat damage like a year and a half ago in the front, and I've been steadily cutting it off every few months. We're almost there. I have like 2 inches left to cut off. So, but yeah. Let's see. Okay. So, can you seal in moisture with Blue Magic Grease? So, grease is an occlusive. Now, keep in mind, I brought these specifically for this. So, here's the thing with hair grease, right? And this is why I caution not putting it on your scalp. So, hair grease has very thick clogging ingredients. So, for example, paraffin is something that's very common in oh, this is hard. It's very common in a hair grease, and this is what paraffin, I can't even pull it out. It's like wax, y'all. Oh, let me try to pull some out. Look. Oh my goodness. Hold on. This is, y'all see this? Like, this is an ingredient that is in hair grease, right? I'm not saying any specific brand, but it's like a wax. So putting this on your scalp is going to clog your follicles and make it very difficult for the hair to come out, right? That's why I'm against greasing your scalp. This is also, I forgot what this is called. This is like linoleum, something like that. This is also very thick. It's not as thick as the paraffin, but it's like a wax, right? And this is the type of ingredients that hair grease is made out of. And so while I would not recommend putting hair grease on your scalp because this will clog your follicles, and just imagine if your follicle, don't take this the wrong way, don't make this dirty, but if this is your hair follicle and hair comes out of it, right? So if the follicle is blocked by something like this, you can't get out, right? And have you ever known what like ingrown hairs and stuff are like? This causes scalp irritation, etc., because the hairs in here can't get out like they're supposed to. So that's why you want to make sure your scalp is clean and clear. That's why also over oiling your scalp can actually lead to more damage because you're not allowing hair to get out. So you're actually slowing down your hair growth. But hair grease can be a sealant on your actual hair strands, not your scalp. I don't recommend it because I don't like greasy, heavy hair. Especially if you wear it out, I wouldn't recommend hair grease. But if you just are going to put on wigs, so you put on hair grease, do your cornrows, and then put on a wig or something, that's fine, I guess. But as long as you're using it to lock in moisture, okay? I use a gel for my wash and go. Do you prefer a mousse or a gel for a hold? If you have type 4 hair, coily hair, you either should do a gel or a gel and a mousse combo. Mousse only wash and goes on type 4 hair. Right now, with what's out in the industry, it's not going to be effective. It just doesn't have enough hold. Mousses are more light and airy, and we need strong hold. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do a flash sale on our bundle. Let's go ahead. I'm going to give you guys a nice sale on that. Somebody asked me to do it. Every single time we get off a live, somebody will spam. We'll have people spam our DMs, be like, please, when you go live next time, do this, do this, do this. I'm going to make sure I tune in. So I try to honor that. So I'm going to give you guys 20% off on our bundle. This comes with our refresh shampoo, our deep hydration mask, the leave-in butter, and our essential hair oil. I use all 4 to do this twist out. So if you like my twist out, then you would like this products. All right, let me go ahead and set that up for you guys. We'll do 20 minutes. And let's see, once we, y'all need to tap that screen. Y'all know in order to do a giveaway, we have to get a couple thousand likes. I need y'all to tap that screen. So if you're in here, tap that screen, tap that screen, tap that screen. Once we get to our like goal, which is usually like 30K or something, we will do a giveaway, but we're a bit far from that. So if you want a giveaway, want a free product, make sure to tap the screen. And like I said, while we're going through this, if you have any hair growth questions, please leave them in the chat. I will answer them because a lot of people just aren't going to give you this information. And I would rather you get the information and buying the products be secondary, because a lot of people have good products, they just don't know how to grow their hair, okay? So it's just very different. All right, let's see in the chat. Let me see if there's any questions before we move on to number 3. If you're just joining, we're talking about how hair growth actually works. This series will allow you to have longer hair in 2026. If you want to stay bald-headed, don't listen. But if you don't want to be bald-headed, if you want to finally see growth after years of struggling, I'm going to tell you everything. It's very simple. Growing hair is very simple. It's just you don't know the information. Nobody tells you the information. Okay. So, let me see. How often should I use your hair products? So, the great thing about these products is they are designed to work. If products work for your hair, you shouldn't be using them frequently. Because think about it. Our hair thrives when we don't touch it. Our hair thrives on low manipulation. So that means that your product should work and keep your hair like well off long enough so that you can experience that low manipulation. So if you're having to do your hair constantly, daily, or even multiple times a week, that means either it's your techniques that are off or your products that are off. With this, like I said, this is a fresh twist out. I just took it out today. I used the refresh shampoo, dehydration mask, the oil, and the leave-in butter. All of these are coming in our bundle, which is currently 20% off for the next 18 minutes. But I use this to do a twist out. I'm not going to put any product on my hair for like 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, I'm most likely going to be washing my hair again. So I just repeat the process. I do no touch-ups or anything in between wash days because my hair doesn't need it because the products are effective. And that's why when people are like, you need to come out with larger sizes. And I go look up their order. And I'm like, you just ordered last month. You should not be running out of any product within a month. Like, so, yeah. Okay? All right, so the last thing. This is the most important thing I feel like. Genetics determines how your hair grows, not if your hair grows. So if anybody's ever told you that your hair is long or short because of genetics, they're just mad because they can't grow hair and they're trying to project that onto you. And that's just not tea. I've had so many people tell me that my hair is only long because I have good genetics. First of all, I'm fully black. I'm not mixed. If you want to be specific, my great-grandmother was full Indian on my dad's side. So, but that's pretty diluted, right? So we're just gonna say I'm fully black. That has no effect. So genetics determines how your hair grows, not if. If genetics truly determined whether you grew hair or not, you would only see like one type of hair having long hair. I've seen so many 4C girls have long hair, they're just not getting the representation on social media per usual. So it's not that. So here are the things that genetics does determine. So if you're ever like, okay, well, what does genetics actually determine? Let's talk about it. So, genetics. The first thing that genetics determines is the look of your hair. Okay? So, it determines, for example, is your hair black? Is it brown? Is it blue? Like what? So, it determines the color. It determines the texture. So genetics does determine whether you have 3B, 3C, 4A, 4C. My dad has 3C hair, right? My mom has 4C-ish hair. So when they came together and had me and my siblings, we all have a different range. So I have like 4A, 4B. My sister has like 3C, 4A. My younger brother has like 4B, and my older brother has 4C. So that all came from the Punnett square, if you ever did that, right? So it all came from the Punnett square. So genetics determines the color, the texture, the density, whether your hair is thick, thin, coarse, all that. So that's the first thing that it determines. The second thing that it determines, which a lot of people get confused, is the rate. So how fast hair grows. I'm pushing it away, no. How fast hair grows, okay? So those are the only two things that you need to be concerned about that genetics plays a factor into. So it determines how your hair looks, right? And again, if you guys have any hair growth questions, please ask them in the chat. I will answer them. Don't be scared to ask it. I'm not mean, okay? I don't bite. But it does determine the rate. So genetics does determine how fast your hair grows. And that is important to know because a lot of people dedicate their hair growth journeys to figuring out how to speed up hair growth. And you cannot speed up hair growth. So the average that people grow hair is about 6 inches per year. That's the average, which means about half an inch per month. So in 2025, everyone grew about 6 inches of hair. If you didn't see longer hair, that's just simply because you weren't retaining length, not because your scalp wasn't growing it. And again, our bundle, which includes all of these, is 20% off right now if you want to grab it. This entire line will allow you to see longer hair simply because it helps keep your hair hydrated, and moisture is the only way to see longer hair. Not a certain ingredient, not a certain oil. No, but having good products and a healthy hair care routine will always allow you to see longer hair. Most people don't do those two, okay? But genetics determines the rate. So some people will genetically grow half an inch of hair a month. Some people genetically maybe like 0.4, some 0.6. But the average is 6 inches. So if you spend your entire hair growth journey trying to find a way to speed up hair growth by using oils, by using certain ingredients, using certain products, etc., you will always have short hair because you're trying to achieve something that isn't biologically possible. So instead of trying to speed up hair growth by focusing on your scalp, like I said, it's impossible. Number one, because there's nothing you can put on your scalp that will penetrate your follicles deep enough to stimulate growth. Science backs this up. There's nothing that does that. And number two, because there's nothing you can put on your scalp that speeds it up, that means that you're accomplishing nothing by focusing on your scalp. Daily oiling of your scalp does not increase hair growth. All that does is clog your follicles. I'm not saying putting oil in your scalp is bad. If your scalp is dry, apply a little bit of water or a water-based serum, then go on top of some oil. Awesome, lock in that moisture. But doing it every single day does not increase growth. If that were true, then when the whole rosemary oil thing happened, everybody that hopped on that trend, that was like a year or two ago, would have a lot longer hair now. Most people still don't have long hair, even though they were using the rosemary and mint oil from like Miel. Remember when that was super popular? If that really worked, then everybody that hopped on that trend, and I know people that have used that oil faithfully, like this happened like the end of 2023 or 2024 when that whole thing went viral, right? So it's been at least like 2 years. They would have a lot longer hair, but they don't. Why? Because that's not how hair growth works. So if you understand that you can't change how fast your hair grows, that's genetic, that's determined by the Lord Jesus Christ, and I'm not gonna question God, so I don't know about you. So if that's determined, then stop trying to grow your hair that way because it won't work. You're trying to achieve something that's not achievable. So instead of trying to focus on your scalp, if your hair care routine is mainly focused on your scalp, your hair is going to stay short. But if your hair care routine switches to being focused on your actual hair strands, that's where you'll see longer hair, because now you're trying to focus on length retention, which you can achieve. You can't speed up hair growth, but you can take care of your hair in a way that retains length so that it will be longer. Okay? Very simple. Very simple. Someone said they like my hair. Thank you. This is the first twist out. I use all 4 products. I love it. Definition is popping. See, type pro hair can achieve amazing things. I did mess up like the shape of it. I stretched it and I did it the wrong way. I used my Rev Air to stretch it. So it was like right here and I just stretched it like because I like my hair to touch my shoulders. I feel like I deserve that. If my hair is to my waist stretched, I feel like it should at least touch my shoulders when I wear my natural hair. So yeah, okay. All right, so like I said, our bundle is currently 20% off if you want to grab it. Go ahead. Okay, so for those of you, nothing works for me. I'm praying for this. I appreciate your honesty. Kendra, I got you, sis. If you're like Kendra and you're like, nothing works, nothing is growing my hair, I've been trying for years and struggling for years and my hair is just not growing. I'm telling you, it's just because you don't have this information. Once you have this information, hair growth is not an issue anymore. For those of you just joining, we're talking about how hair growth actually works. These 3 things will determine, it will guarantee your growth. This is like the basics that people don't understand. And so they focus on the wrong things with their hair care routine, and they end up just having short hair and keeping short hair. And that's just it. If you can understand these 3 things, you will not struggle with growth. Like, your hair will be longer in 2026. That's just it. But if you continue to think about hair growth the wrong way, that means your hair care routine will focus on the wrong things. Okay, and that's just not something we want to do. Hi Natural, hi me, hi everybody just joining. We are talking about how to grow your hair, how hair growth works. This is a guaranteed, foolproof method. I know everybody has told you different things about how hair growth works. They're not me, okay? If you've been following me for years, you know I know how to grow hair. I've grown my hair twice. I grew my hair before I got on social media. I had very long hair. About a year after I got on social media, I went and got a silk press. The lady chopped all my hair off, regrew it. So I've grown long hair twice, okay? So, and here's the kicker. The core of what I'm telling you isn't, oh, buy the product, your hair will grow. The core of what I'm telling you is teaching you how hair growth works so that you can develop a hair care routine that's designed to help you to retain length so that you can finally, after years of struggling, have longer hair. If I can do it, when years ago my hair was short, damaged, chopped, etc., if I can grow longer hair than I ever could imagine, and I finally disprove the whole you're black, you can't grow hair, etc., you can too. The difference between you and me is that I learned this before you did. That's literally it. The difference between me and your favorite natural hair influencer, your inspo pic on social media about how you want your hair to look, is that they know this and you don't. So for those just joining, let's talk about it. So the first thing you need to understand is dry hair equals short hair. So if you have short hair, it is because your hair is dry. There is no in between. That is it. It's not because you did not find the right oil. It's not because you didn't jump on the rice water trend. It's not because you have bad genetics. You simply just have dry hair. And that's a good thing, because dry hair is very easy to fix. But you have to understand that's the reason. So let's talk about it. The reason why dry hair leads to short hair is because everybody has this oil that they produce on their scalp called sebum. Now, sebum, the way God designed it, is supposed to coat your hair from roots to ends. This helps to keep your hair, prevent your hair from being dry so that it's not short. That's why girlies who have straight hair, you see all the time they're washing their hair because their hair is oily. That's because their sebum is coating their hair. But for us natural girlies, unfortunately, our sebum does not coat the entire length of our hair. It does not coat from roots to ends. That's just because, think about a straight straw versus a curly straw. For a straight straw, the liquid getting to your mouth is very easy. But for a curly straw, it has to kind of go through a path. That's exactly what the sebum fails to do. Because our hair is coily, it's difficult for it to go down. So it only goes down like the first inch or two, and then the rest of your hair is naked. And if your hair is naked, that means that you have to go in and do the job that the sebum didn't do on the length of your hair in order to prevent it from being dry so your hair isn't short. We don't do that, and that's why your hair is short, okay? And so by that logic, if dry hair equals short hair, then that must mean that moisture equals long hair, okay? There is no in between on this, okay? It's not oil equals long hair. It's not, I don't know, whatever trend equals long hair. It's not rosemary water equals long hair. It's not aloe vera gel, flaxseed gel equals long hair. Moisture. You get moisture by having a hair care routine that focuses on moisture. Our entire line, y'all have about 6.5 minutes left in our bundle. The entire line is focused on this because this is the only way to get longer hair. That's why we don't highlight a specific ingredient in the products. We don't say, oh, this is our shea butter line, this is our rosemary line. We don't highlight specific ingredients because I know you're going to buy. If I say, for example, if I say, I can make so much money. If I said this was a rosemary line, this is what your psychology thought process would think. You would think, okay, I've been seeing so much on social media the past few years about rosemary being so good for growth. So if they have rosemary in this, then that means that this is going to grow my hair simply because it has rosemary in this, and that's not the full context, right? Rosemary has its own benefits, but rosemary in and of itself doesn't make hair just shoot out of your scalp. Science and studies show this. There's no oil that's capable of doing that. And so you would buy it based off that assumption, and then you would use it, and you would have the tools to grow your hair, and then you get mad at me. So instead of focusing on specific ingredients, instead of saying, hey, if you put this oil on your scalp, your hair will grow, instead of doing that, I say, hey, this entire line is focused on helping your hair to retain moisture, and if your hair retains moisture, your hair will retain length, and that gives you longer hair. So that's why every single product, we talk about the benefits. So like the leave-in butter, which is our most popular product, right? It says hydrate and moisturize on the bottom. Can't see it though. Our refresh shampoo says cleanse and restore. The oil says nourish and seal. It doesn't say hair growth oil on here anywhere at all, because hair growth oils do not exist. So we say that it nourishes your hair. It has ingredients that are going to help to strengthen your hair strand. Like oils have benefits. They have benefits for the actual strand, right? And they help to lock in moisture. But they're nowhere in the directions is to say put it on your scalp and watch like extreme hair growth happen in a month. That's just not true. Our deep hydration mats, it says to hydrate and replenish. Right? So we focus on highlighting the benefits of the products, not ingredients, not hair growth remedies, not hair growth cures. And that's also why I do this series, because I need you to understand that if you want longer hair, that is possible. I can help you get there, but you have to understand it's not going to come just because you use the products. Like we talked about last week, a hair care routine for growth is the only way. It consists of three things. It consists of products that work for your hair, products that are prioritizing moisture. It consists of your techniques, a healthy wash day routine, knowing how to protect the style your hair, keep it hydrated, etc. What you do to your hair. And then number 3 is being consistent. I can't lie to you. My hair, y'all see how long my hair is? My hair took years to grow. I didn't grow this hair in a year. So even if you lock in for the series for, the next year, right? Your hair will be longer, but it's not like if you have shoulder length hair, your hair will like shoot down to your waist. In 2030, we can talk, but in 2026, that's just not gonna happen. Let's see. And again, if you have any hair growth questions, please ask them in the chat, because your question can help somebody else, Somebody said, let me know when the butter goes on sale. We will do another sale on it. I got you. How many times should I wash my hair? That's a great question. So here's the real tea about how often you should wash your hair for growth. It doesn't matter. For a lot of people, you should not be focusing on how frequently you wash your hair. It's going to matter more for your hair growth journey how you wash your hair, okay? So I know people that grow their hair washing it once a week, people that grow their hair washing it once a month. Everybody's different. Like some people can go longer without washing their hair because their scalp, some people can't. It's fine. However often works for your hair. It just as long as your wash day routine, like how you cleanse, deep condition, all that is good. For example, it doesn't matter whether you wash your hair once a week or once a month. If you're not deep conditioning, you're going to get breakage regardless, and your hair's going to be short. That had nothing to do with the frequency, if that makes sense. Somebody said they missed me. Exciting news. I'll be back on my personal pages next week. So, yay. I will be back. Why don't you post as much on your other pages anymore? Because I need a break. I have 7 social media platforms that I run. So there's 4 for She's Made, our Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, and then my personal Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. All of them have over 100,000 followers, except for our Instagram. Instagram sucks right now. It has like 86K, but all of our other platforms have over 100K. We're almost at 200K on YouTube. So it's a lot of work. And so I got to the point where I was like, I have to pick, and ain't gonna lie to y'all, I don't get paid as an influencer like that. So if I have to pick, and also this is my calling. Influencing just helps me with my business, but it's not like what I see myself doing in 10 years. Like this, I feel like it's more impactful. Me having a line that fills a gap. I don't think y'all understand how bad it is in the industry right now with products for type 4 hair. Like we don't get the recognition we deserve. We're an afterthought, which sucks. They always, think about it. Every single time you go into the store, you know that the product's gonna work if you have like 3B hair, 3C hair. But there's always that question if you have like 4A, 4B, 4C, there's always that question, I'm not sure this is gonna work for me. And so what you do is you go to videos like mine and you say, let me see her try this, and she has like coily hair, not curly hair, she's fully black. Let me see her try the products, and then if it works on her hair, then I know it has a better chance of working on my hair. Curly girls don't have that experience. They can go into the store and know that, especially with stylers, they know that any gel or cream that they put on their hair is gonna give them like 80% of what they want. We don't have that experience. And so for me, if I can't find it, I make it myself. And that's kind of how we got here. And like I said, I've had my products and been making my products for years before I got on social media. I just couldn't find anything that worked for me. And I have the education to formulate products. So I was like, why not do it? And then my first viral video was of the leave-in butter, me just sharing the recipe randomly. No intent to have a business or anything. It went viral. People are like, okay, we need you to make a line. We see your hair. We see how good it looks. We see that you're making your own products. Please start selling them. And then here we are. The demand, we used to make all of our products by hand, but the demand got so much, we literally had to move into like professional manufacturing so we could produce like thousands of units at a time. There was just no way the business was going to survive any other way. So, the products still work with my hair. I have 3C, 4C hair. Okay, question. I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. I don't know how that's possible to have that wide of a range of hair. But I also think that I don't know where y'all searching thing. I'm telling you, as somebody from behind the scenes experience, the industry does not care about us. It's kind of like makeup shades. You know how they weren't really making shades for darker skin tones. It was just like, oh, like here sort of thing, like Euphoria, that sort of situation. That's kind of how the natural hair industry is now. So no head is the same type, just like skin. Yeah, absolutely. I have multiple textures in my hair. I'm asking how does she have that big of a range? I'm not saying she's doesn't have it. I'm literally just asking. I'm just curious. I've never seen anybody have that wide of a range of hair textures. But I can confidently say that they're not making products for you in the natural industry. Okay, so let's talk about moisture equals long hair. Who here does not retain moisture well? Like, who here struggles with dry hair? Let me know in the chat. Who here struggles with dry hair? I'm going to change your life. It's a very simple solution. Like, if you're somebody that just struggles to keep your hair hydrated, this is going to help you out. Somebody said me. Anybody else, like you struggle to keep your hair hydrated, I'm going to put you on. I'm going to give you a game changer. And while we do that, we'll go ahead and do another flash sale. Somebody said to put the butter back on a flash sale, so we will do that one. Next, let me go ahead. I'm going to give you guys a bigger discount this time because I love you guys. So I'm going to give you guys 28% off on, actually, let's just go ahead and do a 30. I don't know why. 28 is just a weird number. Let's just go ahead and do 30% off on the leave-in butter. So give me 2 seconds to set that up. Y'all, I am hungry. Don't know what's going on. All right. Give you guys a nice clean 30% off on that. Somebody asked me to put it on. So whoever said to let them know, I don't remember who it was. Now is your time. All right. So for those on YouTube watching, if you want to check out our TikTok live, our leave-in butter is currently 30% off. If you're scared to shop on TikTok Shop, I actually kind of prefer TikTok Shop now over Amazon. I know. Okay. Okay, let's talk about keeping moisture in. It's very simple. If you struggle with dry hair, this is going to change the game. Let me erase this really quick. It's very simple. This is going to change your life. And this, honestly, if you can learn this, this will probably be like the biggest thing that you need to fix to have longer hair. Because like you said, moisture is going to equal longer hair, because the only way to see longer hair is to retain length. You can only retain length if your hair is moisturized. Think about your hair when it's dry, like a pasta noodle, right? So if you just have a raw pasta noodle and it snaps, that's your hair when it's dry. But if you cook the noodle, it has elasticity, it has strength. That's exactly your hair when it's hydrated. So if your hair is dry and brittle, protein treatment, no. Deep condition, yes, right? If you struggle with dry hair, 2 steps. We just went over this, we'll do it again. All right. Ooh, my lights. Okay. 2 very simple steps. If you struggle with dry hair, this is going to change the game for you. Do you recommend buying the Rev Air? If you stretch your hair often, yes. I really only like it for stretching my hair. So it's great for me. I stretched my hair with the Rev Air. It was like this. So I only brought it down like 3 inches, but hey. Okay, so 2 very simple steps. This will change the game. If you struggle with dry hair, that's why your hair is short. If you can learn this and fix this, that will in turn make your hair longer. And again, our leave-in butter is 30% off if you want to grab it. The reason why this is so popular is because this does exactly what I'm about to tell you right here. So this makes your life very, very simple. A lot of people use this and love it because they're like, oh my goodness, my hair actually stay hydrated. So first, make this thicker. Add H2O. That's the first step. Again, this is going to change the game. This method will basically destroy all dry hair. You will not struggle with dry hair anymore if you do this consistently, and that is how you're going to see longer hair, because dry hair does not retain length, hydrated hair does, and that's what gets you longer hair. Okay? Will there be a discount tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see. So add H2O. Most people do this step. So most people are good with this. This is not the step that people mess up on. So big check mark. Most people do this. You're adding your leave-in conditioner, right? You're adding your spray. You're adding whatever. And again, we'll do a giveaway once we get a couple thousand likes. I think I said 30K. So if you can tap that screen, we will do a giveaway once we get to 30K likes. If you want to stay in, probably be about another 15 to 20 minutes. All right, but add water. That is it. Your hair needs water. Your hair needs hydration. So adding water is the first step with this situation. So your leave-ins, your sprays, whatever. Most people are doing this. What most people mess up on is, which is why you cannot keep your hair hydrated, is the second step. This is the difference between you and me, okay? And then once I tell you this, there will be no difference, and you'll have long hair like me. Seal. That's it. So here's the kicker, right? I use this example all the time. I'll just do it. So let's just say you have 2 pots of water, okay? One of them, we're gonna put a lid on it. There's water. Okay, then let's say you're boiling the water. Let me know in the chat right now which pot is gonna have more water in it. Let me know. We'll do A and B. A or B? Let me know in the chat. Which one, A or B? If you boil this water, let me know. Comment A or B. It connects. This helps you get longer hair. It connects. I just use analogies because it makes sense. I see a lot of B's. B. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Again, 15 minutes left. Our leave-in butter is coming 30% off. This leave-in butter does this entire step, so that makes your life easier. But yeah. Okay. Somebody said A, but I'm seeing mostly B's. B is correct. The reason why, if you boil water with a lid on and there's going to be more water left in this pot versus this one if you come back after 20 minutes, because there is a lid. That's exactly how your hair works, okay? Water is designed to evaporate. That means even if you add water, it's going to leave your hair because that's what it's designed to do. That's why when you use your curl refresher sprays and you spray them on your hair, and then you have to do that daily because every day your hair gets dry, that's because that water is evaporating very quickly. So by putting some sort of lid on your hair, that will slow down the evaporation. It's still going to leave the pot, but it's going to take a longer time. And if you can slow it down until you need to wash your hair again, there really isn't a big period where your hair's going to be dry, and that's where you get into insane length retention. So, seal. What do you seal your hair with? Occlusives. Occlusives are things that lock moisture in. So that would be oils, butters, etc. Anything that does not have water. Why? Because if you have, we're going to say this is a cup, right? And we're going to make this first layer water. So in this cup, you have water. If you put anything on top that isn't an occlusive, it's going to mix with the water and it's still going to evaporate. So you need something that will sit on top and basically effectively seal that moisture in to keep moisture in your hair. And that is going to be an oil, okay? That is an oil. O-I-L. Oils or butters, anything. So the reason why our leave-in butter is so effective, it does both of these steps at the same time. It will hydrate your hair. The first ingredient in any product you're using to hydrate your hair, I don't care whether it's leave-in, spray, anything, needs to be water. Ingredients are listed on the back of your labels from what's the most to what's the least. So if water's like towards the end, that means that the product doesn't have that much water in it, right? But if it's the first ingredient, you know that out of all the ingredients, the one that has the biggest amount is water. So water needs to be the first ingredient. The first ingredient in this is aqua, okay? So it has water, it has aloe vera, which is 99% water, so it has a very high water content. But The reason why you use this and the next day your hair stays hydrated is because it also is formulated with occlusives that help to lock the moisture in. This has mango butter, shea butter. Both of those ingredients do not contain water. They're going to sit on top of that watery layer and lock it in. It has castor oil. It has jojoba oil. By the way, fun fact, jojoba is the only oil that closely mimics the natural sebum that your scalp produces. We all produce a sebum called we all produce an oil naturally called sebum. And so jojoba oil is the closest to the sebum. Yeah, all these things. So it has all these oils to help lock the moisture in. And that's why this is so popular and why it's so effective. And if you want to just try one thing, I would recommend the leave-in butter. It is 30% off right now if you want to grab it for about another 12 minutes. Somebody told me to put it back on flash sale. And so that is what I did basically. Somebody said I use hibiscus tea as the liquid and then apply a cream, then seal it with my DIY butter. Why does my hair still get dry quickly? I would love to know what's in your DIY butter. Anybody ever used to, I've never heard of that. I know that tea rinses can help reduce shedding, but I don't know if that's science backed, but that's interesting. I've never heard of that. Somebody said, I am kind of stuck with my hair. I don't know. Should I start to embrace my curls or should I stick to only protective styles? So let's talk about this. What grows your hair more? Protective styles or wearing it out? Either one, okay? They require different things to maintain moisture so that you can retain length, but if you do them correctly, it's fine. That's just it. If you want a protective style, never wear your hair out, cool. If you want to wear your hair out all the time, cool. Just make sure that whatever you do, your routine keeps your hair hydrated and you won't have any problems. Most people where they go wrong is when it's easier to keep your hair hydrated in protective style because it's locked away, the routine isn't as frequent, right? But when you wear your hair out more, it gets drier faster, that's just natural. And so your routine has to be a little bit more in depth. It can be done. I go through seasons where I want to wear my hair out. I go through seasons where I don't want to wear my hair out. And I grow my hair just fine regardless. I'm in a season now where I'm gonna wear my hair out. This is the first time I wore my hair, like my natural hair, in about 8 months. So, yay. All right. How long should you keep a protective style in? That depends. Everybody is different. I could just tell you based on my experience, if you don't do this, that's fine. It's not like a big deal. But for me, the longest I typically keep braids in is about 6 weeks, maybe 8 if I'm trying to push it. Wigs, usually about 4 weeks is my limit. Mini twists, about 4 weeks. Yeah, that's really it. But there's no right or wrong. If you keep in those styles longer or shorter, that's fine as long as your hair stays hydrated. Again, hydrated hair, moisturized hair is the only way to have longer hair. That's why hair growth oils aren't effective. Oils do not moisturize. Putting oil on your scalp does not speed up growth. Nothing happens, okay? Do you recommend using rice water? So rice water, there's no scientific evidence to support that rice water is actually effective for growth. Rice water actually is very protein heavy and protein is very drying. And so if dry hair leads to short hair, you using rice water is drying your hair out, which is causing breakage, which is leading to short hair. So I would just say it's a waste of time and that's it. Okay. Single strand knots, is it a moisture or a damage issue? So here's the thing. Everybody gets single strand knots, but let me explain the science behind a single strand knot. So whenever you wear your hair in its natural state, it's messy, okay? For some reason, it likes to act up and it will wrap around itself. The curlier or tighter your hair texture is, the easier it is for these things, for the knots to form. So if you wear a lot of wash and goes, you're just gonna have more single strand knots. That is just normal. But a lot of the times, the reason why these knots form is because your hair is dry. If you keep your hair hydrated, it will reduce single strand knots, but you'll still get them. So, cause kind of think of it like when your hair is dry, it kind of scrunches up. And so the strands, like the coils are closer together. And so the knot's easier to form. But if it's longer and elongated, it's harder for those knots to form. You'll still get them, but they won't be as frequent. What do you have in your hair for it to be so defined? I did a wash day yesterday. That's why I didn't go live. And I used all 4 products. So I washed my hair with the Refresh shampoo. Deep conditioned with our, you can't even see our deep hydration mask. It's down here under the thing. Our deep hydration mask, which is right here. Then I also mixed it with oil. Always deep condition with oil, people, please. It's so easy and it has so many benefits for your hair. And then I use the leave-in butter as a leave-in. So yeah, there we go. Can you explain number 3? Yes, talk about it. Genetics determines, let me scoot a little bit closer so you guys can see. Genetics determines how, not if, your hair grows. So the statement, black people can't grow hair because of genetics, is false. The statement, because you have different genetics than me, so our hair care routines, what we do to our hair will differ, but we can still grow it, is true. So if anybody ever tells you they don't have long hair because of genetics, they don't have long hair because they just don't know how to do it. That's just it, okay? Genetics will not, there's no gene. I studied this, unfortunately, I had to study this. I'm a STEM major, okay? But there's no gene that says, hey, your hair just doesn't grow. That's just not true. There's no gene that says that. So use the deep conditioner and the oil together. I just want to use it correctly. Absolutely. Add just a few drops. Or you can apply the deep conditioner, then take just like a dropper full of the oil in your hand. Apply it to each section. It softens your hair. Oils are very nourishing for the hair strand. Helps to lock in the moisture while you're deep conditioning. It's awesome, okay? I always see you use a good amount, but if I did that, the product wouldn't last that long for my money. I am on my 2nd container of this. I've had the products longer than they've been available, like in the market. I've had the products, I believe, since February of last year. So it's basically been a year. I'm on my 2nd bottle. So these products, they're designed so that you don't have to use them often. Good products you don't need to use often, meaning you don't run out quickly. Because if you're using these products every single day because your hair is getting dry every single day, they're not working. So with this, the more you use the products, the more you'll find that you'll need to use them less often. This will reverse straighten hair. When I straightened my hair last month, I did not use the leave-in. I washed my hair with the shampoo and the mask, but I didn't I didn't use the leave-in or the oil. All right, and again, any hair growth questions you guys have, please ask them in the chat. It can help somebody else. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Okay. All right, so let's talk about genetics. So, all right, so let's talk about genetics. So, genetics, as far as hair growth, this is the only thing, let me turn this so it's not right. Genetics only determines 2 things that you need to be aware of, okay? So, I'm sorry, we put 1 and 2. Okay, so 2 things that genetics determines. Genetics does not equal growth. Your genetics don't determine, hey, your hair grows or your hair doesn't grow. That's not how genetics work. And the reason why I think this is so important, because if you can really lock this down, you will start thinking about hair growth a different way. Your routine will be different. That will actually lead to growth. What you do to your hair will change so that it actually gets longer. The rose oil, what is the benefit? So our our Soothing Strengthening Oil is the same formula as our essential hair oil. This is from our previous rebrand. This just has our signature scent in it, but this is from our previous rebrand. We're almost sold out of these. Once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to grab it, go ahead. We might do a flash sale on it later on if you guys want. Okay, so genetics determines 2 things. So number 1 is the look of your hair. Okay, you guys have 4 minutes left on that leave-in butter flash sale. We can do a flash sale on the oil. That's cool. We can do that next for that one, because I'll make that one cheaper than this one, and it's like 4 times the size. So genetics determines, number 1, it determines how your hair looks, right? That's genetics. So it determines the color of your hair, whether your hair is black, brown, blonde, whatever. It determines color. The second thing it determines is texture. So whether you have 4A, 4B, 4C, 3A, 3C, that is genetic. My parents, my dad is like 3C, honestly maybe a little bit 3B, and my mom is like 4C. So me and my 3 siblings all have a combination of that, the Punnett square, if y'all ever had to study that. So I have 4A, 4B, my sister has like 3C, 4A, my older brother has 4C, and my younger brother has 4B. That's it, okay? So that's what genetics determines as far as the look. Also, it determines the density. So it determines whether you have thick hair, thin hair, coarse hair, fine hair. Thick hair, okay, so thick versus thin hair. Thick hair is how many like actual follicles you have on your scalp, like how many hair strands. So for example, 500 versus 100 hair strands. So 500 hair strands, that's thick. 400 actual pieces of hair on your head, I'm sorry, versus 100 pieces of hair on your head, that's thin. Then coarse versus fine hair is the actual hair strand, whether the actual hair strand is thick, like big or small, okay? So you can have a ton of hair on your head, thick hair, but your individual hair strands be very tiny, so you have thick, fine hair. That's why people who do mini twists, and their mini twists are very like boneless, and you're surprised because they have super thick hair, it's typically because they have thick hair, but it's fine. I would honestly say thick, coarse hair is like the best for mini twists, just saying, because it's full and stuff. But on the opposite, you could have thin hair, meaning you don't have a lot of hair strands on your head, but your individual hair strands are larger, so you have thin, coarse hair. And that honestly a lot of times gives you the illusion of having thicker hair when you don't really have thicker hair. So genetics determines the color, texture, density, and one more I forgot last time, porosity. So genetics will determine, like, all porosity is how your hair handles moisture. So genetically, some people might have low porosity, and then genetically, some people might have high porosity, right? So porosity is just simply how your hair handles moisture. So people with low porosity, they hold on to moisture very well, but they struggle to actually get it in. So once they get moisture in their hair, they're good, but the getting in part is hard. High porosity hair, it's very easy for moisture to get in your hair, but you can't hold on to it. It leaves very easily. Our entire line is formulated for both high and low porosity. Low porosity girlies, you guys do not do well with, like me, don't do well with heavy, greasy formulas. So our formulas are lightweight. They're very thick and rich, but they are lightweight. They're not heavy, greasy, and that's easier to get into the hair strand. And then for my high porosity girlies, this is great because you struggle to keep moisture in your hair. These are formulated with occlusives, which help to lock moisture into your hair, so like oils, butters, things like that. Okay, so it's good for both low and high porosity. What's the best way to do thick, fine hair? I don't really know how to answer that. I'm assuming you're talking about hairstyles. That would just be up to you and your experimentation. Everybody likes different things based on their hair. I know some people, if you have fine hair, mini twist is just not going to be your jam. That's totally fine. All right. So the second thing that genetics determines is the rate of hair growth. So how fast hair grows. And this is like the kicker right here. This is like the most important thing out of like everything that I'm saying, because most people, their hair is short because their hair care routine is centered around trying to speed up hair growth. And you cannot biologically speed up hair growth. You can't change how fast your hair grows. Some people grow, the average is 6 inches of hair a year, but some people might grow a little bit more, some people might grow a little bit less, but there's nothing you can do to speed that up. So that means if your majority of your hair care routine consists of putting an oil on your scalp to speed up hair growth, that is why your hair is short, because that doesn't grow your hair. If you're centered around taking hair vitamins, that you can't speed up hair growth. So I would always say a routine for hair growth will always focus on your actual hair strands, never your scalp. If your hair care routine is focused more on your scalp than your hair strands, that's a big reason why you probably have a lot of breakage and a big reason why your hair is short. If you start focusing on your hair strands, because you can't control what happens on your scalp, sorry. But you can control what happens with retaining length. You can't control hair growth, but you can control length retention. So if your routine focuses on length retention, you're straight. Okay. All right. I'm gonna need y'all to tap that screen. I said once we get to 30K likes, we will do a giveaway. So if you guys want to give away, then we got about an hour left on the live. So if you guys want to give away, I would go ahead and get the tapping so we can do that giveaway before the live stream ends. If we don't reach the goal till super late in the live, I can't do a giveaway. Okay. All right, so let's do another flash sale. Would you recommend your oil for scalp stimulation? I want to regrow my edges more. Let me put up this next flash sale. I said I would do the oil, so I'll do the oil. I'll do a shorter one though. So let me see. I'm gonna give you guys a bigger sale on this. So just give me a second to set that up. I'm sorry. I hate how I can't not do this. in the screen. Sorry. Let's see. I'm gonna give you guys 35% off on the oil. So this is our Soothe and Strengthen oil. You can't see it. This is the same formula as this, except for this is does not have our signature scent. This is 4 times the size as our essential hair oil, and I'm gonna make it cheaper than our essential hair oil right now. All right, I'm sorry. I hate how I can't set these up. Okay. I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes on this one because this is a bigger sale. I'll give you 12 minutes. All right, 12 minutes. And like I said, this is from our old stock. The products aren't old, but I'm saying once this is gone, it's not coming back. So if you ever want to grab it, go ahead. Okay? Flash everything at the same time, please. We will do another flash sale on the bundle. We might do that one next if you want. But this one, once this one is done, okay? But we will do another. I promise you, we'll do another flash sale on the bundle before the live is over. We have about an hour left. Okay, so somebody said, would you recommend your oil for scalp stimulation? I want to regrow my edges more. Okay, so stimulating your scalp, again, doesn't speed up growth. You cannot control how fast your hair grows. So putting oil on your scalp because you're thinking that it's going to make your hair grow faster does not work. This will not stimulate your scalp in that way, okay? Now, there are oils like peppermint oil. Our shampoo has peppermint oil in it that can help to increase blood circulation and stimulate the scalp in that way. And all that does is just make sure that your follicles and all that are healthy and grow the way that they're supposed to. But using peppermint oil on your scalp does not make your hair grow faster. It just makes sure that your hair grows correctly, if that makes sense, okay? So this oil is not designed to be a hair growth oil because hair growth oils don't exist. You can put this on your scalp to help lock in moisture so your scalp stays hydrated. A healthy scalp allows your hair to grow healthily, that's not a word, out of your follicles, right? So the only thing that you can do as far as your scalp is just make sure that your scalp stays healthy so that your follicles can grow hair the way that they're supposed to. They're not gonna grow extra because you do this. Even scalp massages, they're not gonna grow extra because you do this, but it'll make sure that your scalp functions normally. So you cannot control or speed up how fast hair grows out of your scalp. So again, if your hair care routine, if your hair growth routine, anything to do your grow your hair, if it is focused on speeding up hair growth, your hair will stay short because you're trying to do something that is impossible. Studies show, science shows, there is nothing you can put on your scalp, there's nothing that you can put inside your body, vitamins, etc., that will speed up how fast your hair grows. It is not possible. So if you spend your time trying to focus on that, your hair will always be short. But if you focus on instead of your scalp, your actual hair strands, that right there will make or break the difference. That is the difference between your favorite natural hair influencer or your natural hair inspo and you, because they focus on this and you don't. But you will because I'm telling you. Can this be used on kids' hair? Always say parents' discretion, always test things. Kids are more likely to have scalp sensitivities, hair sensitivities, etc. We are not a brand that's specifically for children. We have a lot of parents that say that their kids, they use the products on their children's hair and they like them, but I'm not going to tell you like, yeah, this is kid friendly, if that makes sense. So it's really up to you and your discretion as a parent. You have 9 minutes left. So our Soothe and Strengthen oil, which is right here, is 4 times the size of our essential hair oil. It is the same formula, just our essential hair oil has our signature scent. So it is now cheaper than this though. So if you want to get basically this just in a larger size for the same price or similar price, this will be your go-to right now to purchase. Again, any hair growth questions that you guys have, ask them in the chat, okay? I'm not just here to like just lecture you. I want you to be able to ask and to be interactive. So I know a lot of you guys for years have been struggling to grow your hair, and so I want this series and these lives to be an opportunity for you to actually experience growth. Like, my goal is for you to end 2026 and be like, dang, my hair actually grew longer for the first time in years. It's not hard to grow long hair. It's very simple. You just don't know. So you having short hair, it's just due to a lack of education. Once you learn and apply, you're good to go. So for those of you just joining, that's what the series Hair Growth 101 is designed to do. I have been natural since 2017. Okay, I grew hair twice. So everything that I'm telling you is because I've had double the lived experience. I had very long hair when I first got on social media, and then in 2021, well, really, it was 2022. It was like December 2021. Lady chopped off my hair, okay? And I regrew it back on social media. So I did it without you guys, and I did it with you guys. So everything I'm saying, I know. So if you listen to me, your hair will grow. If you don't, you will stay bald-headed, and that's okay. Well, I mean, it's not okay to stay bald-headed, but like, that's your choice. But this is what happens. Most people, when they hear me say stuff like hair growth oils don't work, they get mad, they get offended, they keep using hair growth oils, and then 3 months down the line when they're not seeing any progress, then they come back and listen to me. If hair growth oils worked, you'd have long hair. Because I know a lot of you guys have been using hair growth oils consistently for months, if not years, and yet no difference has been made because your hair doesn't grow because of an oil. You can't control what happens on your scalp. You can control what happens on your actual hair strands. So for those just joining, these are the 3 things that you need to know about how hair growth works, so that way you can finally have longer hair. Okay, I know some of y'all are tired of having short hair, especially when you think that you're the problem as far as your hair texture. Your texture is not the problem. This is my hair, okay? All my hair, all my natural hair. I did a twist out on wet hair, you guys, wet hair. I have 4B, 4C hair, 4A, 4B hair. I am fully black. I used to have very short hair that was chin length. Y'all have seen my natural hair journey. If you haven't, check out my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We're almost at 600,000 subscribers on YouTube. But my hair used to be super short, damaged, perm, etc. I've grown longer hair than I ever could imagine as someone that used to have the thought process that I just don't have good hair, or because I'm black I can't grow hair. I grew up in like predominantly white area, southern town, etc. But that's kind of the vibe that I was going for. I mean, I had when I was a teenager, and here I am now. This is my job, okay? Is your hair products good for any type of porosity? So a lot of this, one thing, let's get this clear. Please stop shopping for products based on your porosity. 9 times out of 10, the products will work for you whether you have high or low porosity. Your porosity will determine what you do to your hair, not what you use on your hair. To be just completely like fair to it though, our products are formulated specifically for low porosity in the fact that we don't have heavy and greasy formulas, which don't really penetrate the hair strand, which is what low porosity girlies need. So we have thick and rich formulas, but they're not heavy and greasy. But then for our high porosity girlies, this is also formulated for you because they're formulated with a lot of occlusives, which are things that lock in moisture, because you struggle to keep moisture in your hair. So if we can lock it in, it will stay in, and that will help you retain length and see longer hair. So it's formulated for both porosities in that sense. But I would honestly say, when you're shopping for hair products, I really wouldn't factor in your porosity. 9 out of 10, the way that natural hair products are formulated nowadays, it's not like it's gonna work for one porosity and not the other, if that makes sense. Somebody said, do you not have the butter in your storefront? Yeah, our leave-in butter is #1 on the products, and it's also in our TikTok shop storefront. Oh, you're talking about my personal TikTok? It is in my TikTok storefront as well. Would you use any products for a twist out? I use all 4 of these products for my twist out. So this is my twist out. This is day 1, okay? But I wish I could get like a close up. But can y'all see this definition is popping? Okay. I haven't done a twist out in like over a year, but this is my hair. I use all 4 products. I did my wash day routine with the Refresh shampoo, the deep hydration mask, and the oil. And then this oil. And then I also use a leave-in butter in my hair for the twist out. And again, our Soothing Strength Oil, you have 4 minutes left, 35% off. This is the same formula as this, except for this has our signature scent. This was before we rebranded. We used to be called a Natural Rose. So this is 4 times the size, and it is now cheaper than this if you want to just grab this, but at a larger size. You can go ahead and grab that. Once this is gone, this is not coming back. The 8 ounces is not coming back once it's gone. This is 8 ounces, this is 2 ounces, so pick your poison. Okay. I don't see it in your TikTok. Are you talking about my personal TikTok, or are you talking about She's Made? Because in the She's Made TikTok, it should be in the storefront. I see it right now in our storefront, right here. So. Oh, are you talking about the hydrating hair butter? Oh, okay. This is the leave-in butter. I'm sorry, this is the hydrating hair butter, but it's just not called the leave-in butter. Different packaging, same formula, and it just has our signature scent. So the hydrating hair butter, the reason why this is still available and the hydrating hair butter is not, is simply because we sold out of the hydrating hair butter, and then once it was gone, this is our hydrating hair butter. It's the same formula. It just has our signature scent. So I've had people swear up and down it's a different formula. I've been in the lab and compared it. It's not. It just has a different scent. And we're fragrance free, so that just means that the 3 to 4 essential oils that we use in the hydrating hair butter to create the scent, we change them to like 3 to 4 different ones. That's all it is. What would you recommend for a wash and go? So we are working on stylers, so I'm gonna just wait on that. But I would say the key to a good wash and go is going to be hydration for coily hair. It's easier to get definition on coily hair when it is hydrated. If you're struggling with definition, I'd recommend doing a bentonite clay mask. Apply the bentonite clay mask like you would a gel. Each curl, define it, whatever. That's going to like change the game for you. I have a video on that on YouTube if you want to check it out. Just type in like Brittany Rose, bentonite clay, or clay something. It'll come up. The She Said bundle includes everything. Yes, so the bundle includes, it is number, what is it? It is number 3. It includes our Reefer shampoo, our essential hair oil, which is down here, our deep hydration mask, and what is this? Our leave-in butter. You know, I'm gonna put the mask because I don't think y'all can see the mask. Let me switch some things up real quick. Let me switch. I'm gonna like stack this on top. See, innovation. There we go. And then I'll put this right here, and then this right here, and then that right there. Ah, okay, cool. Okay. I feel like I sound hoarse. All right. So let's talk about it again for those just joining. This is how hair growth actually works. If you learn this, your hair will be, if you learn this and apply this, your hair will be longer. Remember, there are 2 parts to making this work. You have to take in the information and then apply it. Okay, don't apply some of it, apply all of it. This is going to change how you think about hair growth. Everything you probably think about hair growth, I'm gonna probably switch it up. If the way that you were doing your hair routine worked, you'd have long hair, but you don't. So let's try something new in 2026 so that we can actually see some results. How is it different from the formula hair butter from the original? It's just not DIY, so it's actually better for you. They're FDA regulated, stability tested, etc. Have better, higher quality ingredients because I have more resources when manufacturing, so it's a much better formula than the DIY version. Do you suggest using a mask and a conditioner or just the mask? So you can detangle with the deep hydration mask. It does have enough slip. But if you're heavy-handed like me, sometimes I like to save the deep conditioner just to use it as a mask. So I will use a different conditioner just to detangle because I just use more product. That way I don't run out of it as fast. But it depends. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me know. I said the bundle. Somebody asked for the bundle again for a flash sale because they had to go to work. So we'll do the bundle again. I'll give you guys a larger discount. Last time we did 20% off, so let's do a little bit bigger than that this time. Let's see. And like I said, once we get to 30K likes, we will do a giveaway. So if you guys can get to 30K likes in like the next 20 minutes, we'll do a giveaway at the end of the live. We have about 40 minutes left. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to give you guys 25% off on the bundle. So all the products are valued at $103 when you put them together. So it's already discounted at $88 because when we sell it as a bundle. So you're getting an additional 25% off on top of that. Let's see. Y'all, I am hungry. I don't think y'all can hear my stomach growling, but it's growling. Okay. All right, I'm gonna give you guys 20 minutes for this one. Make sure it's pinned. Yep, it is pinned. So somebody on YouTube, where do you get the sales? So I'm also on live on TikTok. So if you go to She's Made by Brittany on TikTok, we are live. Click our profile, you'll get in the live. You'll be able to purchase through the live. Okay. All right. How to oil hair properly. So the best way to oil hair properly is to not oil your hair at all. Oiling your hair does not increase growth. Oils do not increase growth. Oils help to lock in moisture. That is and they help to nourish your hair strands. But oiling your scalp, oiling your hair, all that doesn't do anything. So I know people oil their hair, but when you oil your hair, the reason why that helps is because all you're doing is locking in moisture, which helps you to retain length. So it's not like the oiling of your hair itself just produces more hair on your scalp. I have a twist out in. I used all 4 products for my twist out today. My twist out looks amazing. This is day 1. I took it out a couple hours ago, so it looks really good. And I did this on wet hair, so. And that just shows how much my hair has grown, because you already know my shrinkage. If you saw my silk press, I had a silk press for like the last month. It was like down here, so yeah, that sucks, but it's good. It is what it is. Okay, so dry hair equals short hair. The reason why, if your hair is short, your hair is dry. There's no in between. If your hair is short, if your hair is not growing, it's because it's dry. Because dry hair leads to breakage, and when your hair breaks off, it's not on your head anymore. So if you've grown 6 inches of hair, but because your hair is dry, it breaks off 4 inches, you've only kept 2 inches of hair on your head. So let me repeat. If your hair is short, YouTube, if your hair is short, it's because it's dry. There's no in between. That's it. So it's not because you didn't use the right products in that sense. It's not because you didn't do a hair growth trend. It's not because you wash your hair once a month versus once a week. Your hair was dry. Your hair care routine does not moisturize your hair. So that means your hair is dry. And that is why your hair is short. So by that logic, if dry hair equals short hair, that means moisture equals long hair. There you go. That is the only way to see longer hair, because moisture retains length. So that means that your hair is not going to break off. Your hair, I don't think y'all understand. Your hair, when your hair is dry, is the equivalent of a dry, raw spaghetti noodle. You can just snap it. Any type of pasta, you can just snap it because it's dry. They dehydrate it, right? They make it and they dehydrate it, so they remove the water out of it, so it's dry. That is your hair when it's dry, okay? When your hair is hydrated, it's like a cooked pasta noodle. You can't snap a cooked pasta noodle in half, right? Why? Because it has elasticity, it has strength. You boiled it in water, so water has been introduced, so now it's stronger. So that means that if your hair is weak and brittle, your solution should not be a protein treatment. Protein is very drying. It's just gonna make the situation worse, lead to more breakage. If your hair is weak and brittle, you should be doing a deep condition, some sort of hydrating treatment on your hair to get moisture into it. So dry hair leads to short hair, moisture equals long hair. Now, who here, put a hand in the chat if you want to learn how to keep your hair hydrated. If you struggle with dry hair, this is going to be like your saving grace. It's very simple. It's 2 steps. Most people do step 1, but they don't do step 2, okay? And because we know that moisture equals long hair, that is why the entire line is a moisture hydration focus line. That's it, okay? You notice we don't highlight certain ingredients. I don't say this is a rosemary line. I don't say this is a rice water line. Fun fact, rice water has no scientific evidence to show that it works. So when companies came out with those rice water lines, it was only because it was trending. They knew that if you saw it on the label, you would associate it with hair growth, because that's what you've been seeing on social media, and you would buy it. There wasn't even enough rice water in the product to even have an effect, okay? So that's why we don't focus on ingredients. Every single product has benefits on it. So our leave-in butter says hydrate and moisturize on the bottom. Our refresh shampoo says cleanse and restore. We market benefits. We don't market ingredients, because I don't want you to think that just because you use a certain ingredient, your hair will grow. It's not how hair growth works. So let's talk about it. So let me know. I'm really curious. Who here in the chat, how long does your hair stay hydrated? Like, is it a day, 2 days max? Like, how long? When you apply your products and you go on about your business, how long before your hair gets dry and you have to like do something to it again? Let me know. My eraser's on the other side. Somebody said maybe 2 days max. Jada says 2 days max. Lovely says 1 day. Anybody else? Somebody says 3 days max. Tahisha says 2 weeks. Deja says 3 to 4 days max after styling. Rose says a few hours. Okay, so we're gonna fix all that right now. We're gonna fix it all. It's 2 steps. It's very simple. If you do this, I guarantee with consistency, you'll get at least a week of moisture. At least. That's the minimum, at least a week of moisture. Like a good solid 7 days of hydration. Okay. How to keep hair hydrated for 7+ days. That's what I'm going to teach you. Very simple. Now, everything that I'm explaining to you this is the core of how our entire line works. Our entire line is currently, what did I say? It's 25? No, it's 25% off, I think. 25% off our entire bundle. Our entire line is based off of this. Our entire line is designed to keep your hair hydrated, keep moisture in your hair, specifically our leave-in butter, which is our most popular product. These 2 steps I'm going to tell you right now are in this product. The technology that we formulated this product with does this in 1 step. That's why so many people love it, because they'll be like everybody in the chat who was saying 2 days, 3 days max their hair stays hydrated. They use it and it's like, oh wow, I got an extra day. After a month of using it, now my hair stays hydrated for extra 3 days. So 2 steps. Most people do the first step. So the first step isn't the problem, but most people do this. That's the first step, is add H2O. That's it. Most people do this. You're doing this with your leave-in conditioner. You're doing this with your spray. You're doing this with whatever you're using. 9 times out of 10, if you're doing your hair, you're doing this. Okay? Now, here's the key though. Most people don't do step 2. Now, wait, let me back up. So for step 1, the only way you mess this up is if you try to add water with an oil. So most people, when they think, not most people, but some people, this is where like oils get kind of messy. Some people, they think, oh, their hair is dry, let me put oil on my hair. Oil does not add water to your hair. It doesn't hydrate your hair. Oils do not contain water. If you look on the back of our essential hair oil, there is no ingredient on here that says aqua. There is no water in this. It's literally a blend of oils. So there's no oil or serum that's going to add water. So when you add oil to dry hair, you're just making dry hair shiny, but it's still dry. And you know, dry hair breaks, and that's what leads to short hair. Okay, 12 minutes left on our bundle. Again, everything that I'm telling you is designed, like this is the core of how the whole entire line is designed, because this is how you grow your hair. If you can keep your hair hydrated, your hair stays strong, it doesn't break, and you're actually able, when your hair grows 6 inches, the 6 inches shows up on your head versus breaking off. So the first thing is adding water. Most people are doing this. Unless you're adding just oil, you're usually good on this stuff. This is the second step that people just don't do. You're not sealing the moisture in. So here's the thing. Water is designed to evaporate. Let's say you're getting dressed, right? And you spill water on your shirt. You're not gonna like go change, do whatever. You're gonna get in the car and go where you're going, because you know by the time you get there, your shirt's gonna be dry. It's not gonna leave a stain or anything. Why? Because water evaporates. So think about your shirt like your hair. If you're just putting water or watery based products on your hair and that's it, by the time you get to where you're going, that moisture has evaporated. That water has evaporated off your hair. So that's why you have to put something on top, so that when the water tries to escape your hair, it gets blocked by something and stays in your hair. And this is the difference between your hair getting dry after 2 or 3 days versus your hair staying hydrated for 7+ days. It's the sealing step. Most people don't do this. So what do you seal your hair with? Oils and butters, okay? These are called occlusives. Occlusives are substances that lock moisture into your hair, okay? Oils and butters are these occlusives. So grapeseed oil, castor oil, mango butter, shea butter. The reason why they lock moisture in is because they don't contain water. So if you ever have a glass of water and you put oil in it, you'll notice that the oil will form a layer on top of the water. It doesn't mix with the water. They have different densities. So it's going to sit on top. And so when that oil sits on top of your hair after you've applied your watery hydrating product, that water that normally would evaporate easily, it's difficult to get out. And so that is the difference between somebody's hair getting dry after 2 days versus somebody's hair staying hydrated for 7+ days, because they're locking in the moisture. Now, our leave-in butter, the reason why it's so popular is because it does both these steps at the same time. So it adds water, right? The first ingredient is water. And the reason why that's so important is because ingredients, if you didn't know, on the back of your product labels are listed from what's the most in the product to what's the least in the product. So water being first, that means that out of all the ingredients in this product, the one that has the largest amount, or the largest quantity, is water. That means that it has enough water content to sufficiently add water and hydrate my hair. It also has things like aloe vera, which is 99% water. So very hydrating. So any product that you're using to actually to do step one, the first ingredient, not second or third, the first ingredient needs to be water. That's usually a good indication that it's going to be hydrating enough. So that's the first thing. But the second step, which a lot of our leave-in conditioners and stuff don't have in it, is the sealing part. And so that's why you end up with dry hair, because you're just doing step one. So you need another product to do step two, or you need a product like this that does both one and two. So the leave-in butter seals the moisture in because it has oils and butter in it. It has shea butter, it has mango butter, it has castor oil, it has grapeseed oil, etc. It also has herbs like shebe. And the reason why shebe is known as like a hair growth herb, not because shebe on your scalp makes it grow, because shebe is very good at helping to retain moisture. It's a very good occlusive. And the reason why in Chad, Africa, the tribes that live there, the reason why their hair is so long is, number one, they are saturating their hair in that mixture that has shebe in it. So they're retaining a lot of moisture because that product is locking the moisture in, and also because they don't manipulate their hair at all. If you ever study that tribe, they twist their hair up and they leave it alone. They're not styling their hair in twist outs, braid outs, wash and goes, etc. And the more you touch your hair, the more breakage that you're prone to get. So that it's two components as to why their hair is so long. And they do this since birth. They also have a head start because of their cultures and traditions. They didn't grow up like we did, getting perms and relaxers. So a lot of us are like 18 to 20 years behind them. So if I had known how to take care of my hair from a baby, my hair would be very long by now, because I would have been doing everything I was supposed to do for 26 years. So that's also a factor in that. But the point is, if you want to keep your hair hydrated for longer than 2 or 3 days, you add your water, which most of us do. We add our leave-ins, whatever, but you lock the moisture in. This is what a lot of people don't do. Water will evaporate and leave your hair if you do not lock it in with an oil or a butter. You can use a product like a very thick cream. Usually those do have butters and oils formulated in them. But again, look on the back of the ingredients. If those oils and butters are one of the first like 5 to 10 products, you know that there's a large amount in there, so that should be sufficient to seal it in. If mango butter and all the oils are towards the bottom, it doesn't have that much in it, so it might not be a great sealing product. So that makes sense, okay? So our bundle is currently 25% off, you guys. Like I said, the entire line is designed to help you keep your hair hydrated for 7+ days. If you can keep your hair hydrated, your hair will grow long. That's just it, okay? Your entire hair care routine, if it's focused on keeping your hair hydrated, your hair has no choice but to be longer. If your hair is short right now, it's because it's been dry and breaking out. That is the only reason. Not because you didn't find the perfect oil for your scalp, not because you stopped using rice water. It's nothing like that. If what you're doing to your hair, which is your hair routine, is not prioritizing moisture, then you're gonna have short hair. But if you can stop focusing on your scalp and start focusing on your hair strands, you will see longer hair because you're focusing on the part that actually matters. Bianca tried the line with mini twists. Love that. I have a video of me doing mini twists with the line. So now, when should we seal in with an oil? So again, the first step is to add water. So when you're doing your hair routine, you wash your hair, you're done, and you're about to style, you add your hair is wet, and you add your leave-in conditioner, then you add an oil, and then you go on with whatever styler that you want. So whenever you moisturize your hair, that is the order that you should do. And again, 5 minutes left. The bundle is 25% off if you want to grab it. Again, the entire line is focused on moisture, because moisture is the only way for you to see longer hair. So you need products that are hydrating, and you need a routine that's hydrating. That's it, okay? All right, let's talk about number 3. while we finish off the bundle. Like I said, if you guys can get to 30K likes, we're almost there. We will do a giveaway. I will do a giveaway for the last few minutes of the live. If you guys can tap the screen and get us to 30K likes, we're at like 28K or something like that. If you can tap the screen and get us to 30K likes, then we will do a giveaway as promised. All right? And you guys can let me know which product you guys want for the giveaway. We can also do that as well. If the style includes gel, do we add the oil before the gel or after? So here's the thing. The reason why I like the leave-in butter is because it's going to add hydration to your hair and also lock the moisture in, so an oil isn't necessary because it has oils in it. And so using this versus like a regular oil will help your hair not feel as greasy and weighed down. Our oil is lightweight. It's not like greasy or anything, but oil in of itself is always going to have that, like, it's oil, right? So that's why I would prefer the leave-in butter for wash and goes and twist outs. So yeah. Okay. I said 30K. All right, we got 30K likes. All right. Let me know in the chat what product you guys want for the giveaway. A refresh shampoo, deep hydration mask, leave-in butter, or the essential hair oil. Let me know in the chat which one you guys would want, and I will get that set up for you guys. But if nobody says anything, then I'll just pick a random one. But I need at least 10 people to let me know what giveaway product you guys want. Since we got to 30K likes, 3 minutes left on our bundle. All right, so let's talk about the last one while we do that. So I'm seeing a lot of leave-in butters. I'm gonna give y'all like 30 more seconds. Let me know what product you guys want for the giveaway. And if you're on YouTube, if you would like to get a free product, join our TikTok live so that you can enter the giveaway, and you'll be able to do that. All right. Okay, I'm seeing the leave-in, so we'll go ahead and do the leave-in because that's what I'm seeing. So let me set that up. Yeah, we'll do the leave-in butter for the giveaway because you guys got 30K likes. So let me do that, and then we'll talk about, if you're just joining, we're going to talk about what part genetics actually plays in your hair growth, because it's not what you think. If somebody ever told you that your hair is short or their hair is short because of genetics, that's not true. All right, so I'm setting it up, but please, for the giveaway, there will be a bag right here. Click the bag and then follow the rules. Do not just start commenting and doing random stuff because it will not enter you. So click the bag and then, okay? Matter of fact, now we'll do it like this. I'm gonna say this. All right, I'm gonna give you guys 15 minutes. Again, please, for the giveaway, click the bag and then do what it says. Do not just start commenting or doing whatever because it will not enter you. We've had like hundreds of people participate and only like maybe 40 or 50 people actually be entered, okay? So make sure. And once you comment it, you do not need to spam. Comment it once and that will be sufficient for you to get entered. Okay. Let me publish it. All right. It will be up here. Right here. Please click it first. Click it first and then do it. If you're just joining and want to win a free leave-in butter, click this bag right here before you do anything. It will not enter you if you just do whatever you want. So, okay. So somebody asked me, how did I get my hair this way? This is a twist out. I use all 4 products. I literally washed my hair yesterday, used the refresh shampoo to cleanse my hair, the deep hydration mask to deep condition. I always mix a few drops of the essential hair oil and the deep hydration mask. Game changer. If you ever deep condition, everybody should be deep conditioning, use oil. It makes a difference. And then I use the leave-in butter as my leave-in for my twist out. So, and this is a twist out on wet hair. I haven't done a twist out in a very long time, like over a year. So I actually don't like day one hair. I prefer once it gets more volume. I intentionally don't like, mind you, I only separated each twist once. And some of the twists, I say like 50% of the twist, after I like undid the twist, I just left it alone just because my hair is so thick that separating it too much gives too much volume and I lose definition quickly. So I limit how much I separate it and then just naturally let my hair get volume in the next few days. Like this is my volume on day 1. So just imagine like day, 4 or 5, 6. All right, again, if you want to win a free leave-in butter, tap up here. All right, cool. So let's go ahead. Our bundle flash sale is over. Unfortunately, that is the last flash sale for the bundle for the evening. If you want to grab the bundle for a cheaper price, tomorrow we'll be going live at 7 p.m. So we might do a flash sale at the bundle. So I would just kind of hop in for that. All right, so we have about 20 minutes left. Somebody did ask for the mask for a flash sale, so we'll do a short flash sale for that one, and we might do one more. We might do one more to cap out the live. We have about 20 minutes left. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys 25% off on our deep hydration mask. This is our second most popular product that people buy. If you are interested, deep conditioning is extremely important. It helps to strengthen your hair strands so that you can retain moisture. Again, if your hair is short, it's because it's dry. If your hair is long, it's because it's moisturized. There is no in between with that. All right, let me set this up. All right. Let me give you guys 10. How much time we have? I'll give you guys 12 minutes on this one. Only have about 20 minutes left in the live. So if you want to grab it, this is the only flash sale that we'll have for today on the mask. If you want to grab it for 25% off, it is very good. It helps to lock in moisture, all that good stuff. Did I not? Oh yeah. Okay, I published it. I got scared. I was like, did I not publish it? I published it. All right. So you have 12 minutes. If you're on YouTube right now, if you want to get our deep hydration mask for 25% off, just join us on TikTok Live. Okay. These sales for our YouTube girlies are on TikTok. So if you want to get a discount on TikTok, this is the place to join. Okay, let's talk about the last thing. So our hair is always growing. It's just breakage when it feels like it's not. Absolutely, Jada T. She got it. Okay, again, if you would like to enter a giveaway to win a free leave-in butter, please click the bag and follow the steps. Do not just comment. Click the bag, follow the steps. Everybody in here, we have 130 people in here on TikTok. There's no excuse for you not entering this. It's a free product. It costs you nothing. We pay for everything, okay? So click this, and if you win, you'll just have to confirm your address for TikTok Shop, and you'll get a free product. It's literally this. This is our most popular product. Please just click it, enter it, and get a free product, okay? All right, so let's talk about the last thing, genetics. So if somebody ever tells you, hear me. If somebody ever tells you that your hair doesn't grow because you're black and you just don't have good genetics, kick them to the curb, because that's not true. If somebody ever, I hate when people do this. When people tell me, oh, your hair is long because of genetics, it irks me. I'm a woman of God, so I don't act on my urges, but I want to punch them in the face because that's so dismissive towards all the hard work that it takes to grow hair. Hair growth takes years. It takes consistency, and it takes educating yourself on how your hair works so that you can effectively grow it. So when people say, oh, that's just genetics, all they're doing is pushing their insecurities onto you. They haven't learned how to grow their hair, so they assume that if your hair is growing, it's because you're something special, not because you put in the work and they didn't, or you took the space to educate yourself and they didn't, okay? So I hate that. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about genetics do matter, but let's talk about exactly what they matter for. So let's turn my board around and erase all this. So genetics does not equal growth. It's not like if you have a certain type of genetic, your hair just grows, and if you don't, your hair doesn't grow. So genetics does not equal growth. But genetics does determine, in regards to your hair, two things. Okay? The first thing it determines is the look of your hair. Let me fix the board. Bro. So, genetics 100% determines how your hair looks. Genetics determines the color of your hair. So, if your hair is black, brown, red, blonde, whatever, that is genetics, okay? So, it determines the color. It also determines the texture. So, if you have 3A hair, 3B, 4A, 4C, that's genetics. Again, my dad is like 3B, 3C hair, and my mom is like 4C hair. So me and my three siblings all have a combination of that. I have 4A, 4B, my sister has 3C, 4A, my little brother has like 4B, and my older brother has like 4C. So we all have a combination, if you look at the Punnett square, of our parents, and that genetics determine our texture. Genetics also determines your density. So if you have thick or thin hair, that is genetic. If you have fine or coarse hair, that is genetic. Now, the difference between thin and thick hair and coarse and fine hair is thick and thin hair is literally how many hair strands you have on your head. So if you have, let's just say 500 hair strands, we'll consider that thick hair. Like individual like hair on your head. If you have like 100 hair strands, that'll be like thin hair. So that's like the number of hair on your head. Okay? And then coarse versus fine is when you look at the individual hair strand, is it large or is it small? If you have bigger, hair strands, individual hair strands, you have coarse hair. If you have smaller, thinner hair strands, you have fine hair. So you can have somebody that has super thick hair, like they have a ton of hair on their head, but their individual hair strands are very thin. And that typically, when you see somebody do mini twists and you think that you're surprised because their mini twists aren't super thick and full, that's typically a sign that they have thick hair, but their individual hair strands are on the finer side. Versus somebody who you think has super thick hair, but they really don't because they have thin hair, but their hair is super coarse. So their individual hair strands are bigger. But that's all determined by genetics, okay? I personally have very thick hair. I have a lot of hair on my head, but I'm more so like the middle between fine and coarse. I don't have super coarse hair, but I don't have super fine hair. It's like right in the middle. That's why when I do mini twists, I get some volume and stuff, but it's not as much as you would expect. Because I would think I would have more volume and fullness in my mini twists because my hair is so thick, but my individual hair strands are finer. Thank you, Angel. You're so sweet. She said my hair is beautiful. I did a twist out with all 4 products. Our deep hydration mask is currently 25% off. Yeah, 25% off. I use a deep hydration mask. I always deep condition. That's super important. I had to have a deep conditioner in the line. Deep conditioning is so important, especially if you have high porosity hair. It's going to help you to retain more moisture, which is good for you because you struggle to keep moisture in your hair. So yeah, if you have low porosity and you deep condition, use heat. You struggle to get moisture in your hair, so using heat helps that process to become easier. Okay, everybody should be deep conditioning. Okay, so genetics determines color, texture, and density, how your hair looks. Also, one last thing, porosity, which I just talked about for a little bit. Porosity is just how your hair handles moisture. That's it. So low porosity, you struggle to get moisture in your hair, but you hold on to moisture really well. So once you get it in, it stays in there. It's just the process of getting it in is hard. And the reason why our line is good for low porosity in that sense is because very greasy, heavy formulas are difficult to get into the hair strand. So that's why our formulas are more lightweight. They're very thick and rich, but they're lightweight. They're not heavy and greasy, which is better for low porosity. And then our high porosity, it's very easy to get moisture in your hair, but you struggle to keep it in, right? And so also that's why our line is for high porosity, because our line is formulated with a lot of occlusives, which are like oils and butters, things that help to lock moisture in. So that helps you out in that sense. This is my hair care line. She's Made is my hair care line. Do you have a step-by-step on what you did on your hair? I filmed it. The video, I haven't even had time to even look at it, let alone edit it. I washed my hair yesterday. So, but I washed my hair with the Refresh shampoo, deep conditioned with the deep hydration mask, and I mixed it with our essential hair oil. And then I used my deep conditioning cap for like an hour, rinse it out with like cooler water, and then I used my leave-in butter as my leave-in for my twist out. And I started in the dryer for an hour and a half. Well, really 2 hours in total, but I split it up. Hour and a half last night, and then like 30-ish minutes like after I worked out today. Okay, so genetics determines the look of your hair. Genetics also determines one more thing, and this is important. Out of everything that I said today, this is probably the most important thing if you're trying to grow hair for real in 2026, because if you can change how you think about this, you'll start doing what you're supposed to do to your hair, and your hair will start growing for real. And that is how fast hair grows. Your genetics determine how fast your hair grows. Again, you guys have, hold on. For the giveaway, you guys have about 4 minutes. Please, everybody that joined, get a free product. Click the bag first, please. Click the bag, then follow directions. If not, it won't enter you. Click the bag, then follow. Get a free product. Okay, but how fast your hair grows is determined by genetics. And this is super important because that means that, listen to me, you cannot change how fast your hair grows. And the reason why this is important is because most people, their hair care routine is focused on trying to get their hair to grow faster. So a lot of the things that you do mainly focus on your scalp. But there's nothing that you can put on your scalp or put inside your body that will stimulate excess growth of hair out of your follicles. Science shows this. There's been no conclusive evidence to support this. It will not happen. So if you're focusing so much on your scalp, that automatically means you're neglecting your actual hair strands. And if you're neglecting your hair strands, that means your hair is not staying hydrated, it's dry, and it's breaking off. So when your hair has stayed the same length from 2025, you're assuming it's because your scalp did not grow any hair. But the reality is your scalp grew hair just fine the way that it's genetically designed to do, but your hair broke off because you neglected your hair strands. You cannot control what happens on your scalp, but you can control what happens on your hair strands. So you can't control how fast it comes out, but you can control whether it stays on your head and doesn't break off. So this right here is the key to understanding how hair growth works, so that you can change it. That means hair growth oils in 2026, let's just stop it, okay? Like I said, oils cannot stimulate growth out of your scalp. It just doesn't work. Let's stop with the hair growth trends. Let's stop it. It's not effective at all. You're wasting your time. Rice water is a waste of your time. Next week, we're going to be talking about, tomorrow, we're going to be talking about myths you believe about hair growth that keep your hair short. And we're going to be talking about a ton of things that people do on their hair that is just waste of time and honestly can have negative effects. So if you want to stay tuned, that will be 7 p.m. tomorrow. But you will not see longer hair if you continue to just focus on your scalp. If all you do for your hair routine is massages, scalp stimulators, somebody even was like micro needling on your scalp, red light therapy. I'm telling you, I am a STEM major. I majored in biology. I have a degree in biology. If you've ever been a STEM major, I went to LSU. That's like one of the top schools in Louisiana. I studied biochemistry. That was like the worst thing. Organic chemistry was the worst thing. Biochemistry, organic chemistry, molecular genetics. I studied everything, and I am telling you 100%, science shows that you cannot put anything on your scalp or introduce anything into your body that will stimulate faster hair growth. It is not biologically possible. It's not something that you can do. And the reason I'm saying my educational background is because as a STEM major, if you've majored in any STEM major, you know, especially with biology and chemistry, when you are taking labs, you have to write scientific papers and read scientific papers and articles. And so that is how you know what's actually scientifically backed as far as something working or not. And there's no conclusive evidence. No studies have shown that there's anything that you can put on your scalp or inside your body that will speed up hair growth because it's genetic. The same way, again, genetics determines what? Your texture, your hair type, right? That there's nothing that you can do to change how your hair grows out of your scalp. There's nothing that you can do to your hair to grow out of your scalp and it be a looser texture. You have to put something on top of it to chemically change it. And you have to reapply it because your hair is still growing out the same texture that it's always been. So that's why that's super important. You guys have a little bit left for the giveaway. You have about 8 seconds. So if you want to win a free leave-in butter, tap the bag and enter real quick. All right. So let's see. Congrats to Gabrielle. She won our leave-in butter. T. All right, we're going to do one more flash sale. We will do our leave-in butter. I'm going to give you guys a really, really big discount. This will be the biggest discount of the night. This will cap off our live. We have about 5 minutes left. So I will give you guys that. And I will also just answer hair growth questions. If you want me to explain any one of these, that's also cool. But I'm going to give you that. So again, for my YouTube girlies, if you want to get a huge discount on our leave-in butter, please just go to TikTok really quick. She's made by Brittany. Same thing on that, okay? I'm going to give you guys a really big discount to cap off the live. I'm going to give you guys I'll give you guys 6 minutes. 6 minutes, okay? I'm going to give you guys 40% off on the leave-in butter. 40% off. So, yeah, like I said, it's our most popular product. This is done with the leave-in butter does this. Our entire line does this with the leave-in butter. Keeps your hair moisturized so that you can have longer hair. And that's just it. Hydration versus moisture with low porosity 4C hair. So that's a great question. Hydration and moisture, we use them interchangeably, but the reality is hydration is like adding water to your hair, and moisture is sealing. So like sealing, moisture is another way to say sealing. So we use them interchangeably, but that's what it is. And that you need to hydrate your hair and moisturize it for both low, high porosity, 4C hair, 3A hair. Your hair only grows if it's moisturized. And I say moisturize because you have to hydrate your hair and then add the moisture on top. So your hair looks so good. Thank you. So the leave-in butter is in my hair right now. If you want to grab it, I use it as my leave-in. Keep my hair super shiny and healthy. This is a twist out on wet hair. And I barely separate it. That's why I have a lot of definition. Each strand, you know how you undo the twist, you have two. I separated each one time. I have like 50% of the two pieces that I did not separate though. I've kind of been experimenting. I think I like separating just the perimeter to give me volume, like on this side, but the top and stuff, I don't. So it's weird. Best way to hydrate, especially in protective style, that's a great question. So the biggest way that you can hydrate in protective style is before you actually apply the protective style. So right off the bat, there's nothing that you can do. There's no style that you can wear that's like the best for hair growth. Everybody's hair is different. Some people prefer different things. Like protective styling in general, as long as you're doing it correctly, wigs and braids will be just as effective as mini twists, etc. But make sure that you are doing a good deep conditioning before you install the braids on your wash day, before you install your braids or protective style or whatever. Make sure you're using your leave-in butter. Again, our leave-in butter is currently 40% off for the next 4 minutes. Biggest sale of the night, the last sale we're gonna have. So if you want to grab a leave-in butter, it's 40% off. I will always apply this before going and getting any protective style. I think the biggest reason why people's hair don't grow in protective styles is because they are doing protective styles on dry hair. And even though dry hair is just chilling, dry hair breaks, you guys. So like I said, if your hair is dry, your hair will be short. If your hair has stayed short for years, it's simply because your hair has been dry. That's it. And if you feel like you've been doing everything right and your hair is still dry, and which is why it's short, it's just because you're not hydrating properly. That's it. This is good for all hair types. So our products are catered specifically for tighter hair textures because I'm 4A, 4B, and we don't have products in the industry, so I wanted to fill that gap. They will work on type 3 hair, but especially when our stylers come out, they will definitely be catered more towards for type 4 hair. Because no shade or anything, this is nothing at all, but like, curly girls don't have the same experience shopping for hair products as curly girls. Curly girls, you know, especially with stylers, you know that if you go into the store, 9 times out of 10, almost every single styler that you pick up, especially gels in natural hair, will work for you. They'll give you definition. But for curly hair, it's really a hit or miss. And natural hair products nowadays, I feel like natural hair products, they're worth the investment if they work for your hair, but they're a waste of money if they don't. So how often do you wash your hair? It depends. The past few months, I've been doing once a month or once every 4 to 6 weeks just because I've been protective styling. That's usually what I do when I'm protective styling. But now that I'm wearing my hair out, I probably will wash this twist out after about 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know yet. I'm going to see how long it will last before I need to wash it. So we'll see. Probably, I have something to film after this, so I'll probably do 2 weeks. But I'm most likely, with the way that this twist out is looking on day 1, I probably could push this for 3 weeks. But I'll probably wash it after 2 weeks. Again, you'll have 2 minutes left for the leave-in butter. It's 40% off if you want to grab it. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and grab the leave-in butter. And if you want to watch this live, it will be on YouTube. I saved it, so we're currently streaming on YouTube. So if you miss anything that I said or you're just joining, you want me to explain all this, check out YouTube. Will be up in like 20 minutes. The live will be up, and also we will be like clipping bits of the live and posting them as actual YouTube videos, like the highlights, to save you time as well. So yeah, what are some recommendations for deep conditioners? Our deep hydration mask is my recommendation. It's going to hydrate your hair. How do you protect your twist out to last 2 to 3 weeks? So I would always say for any style, the longevity, it's always going to be your application. It's always going to make the biggest difference. So if your hair is hydrated while you're doing your twist out, like applying the products and doing all that, it will last way longer than doing a twist out on dry. I don't mean like stretched hair, I mean like hair that's like dry, like it needs moisture. So that is always the biggest thing. Also, I would say for me, I have very thick hair, so volume for me is not a problem. So for me, I do not separate my twists a lot. Each twist I take, you know how you undo the twist, so you have 2 sections. I separate each of them once Sometimes I don't separate them at all. Like I have a few twists that I just undid the twist and that's it. But I also did my twist small enough so where I could do that and it wouldn't look awkward. And that helps me to keep definition, especially because my hair is just going to get bigger and bigger as the days go on. Is this line just for like natural hair that isn't straightened? So I actually straightened my hair last month. I used the Refresh shampoo and the deep hydration mask. If you want to keep your hair hydrated during a silk press, I would definitely say the wash day is going to be crucial. You have to make sure that you're doing everything to hydrate your hair during your wash day because you can't use products. Wrapping my hair at night, I literally just put my hair in a high bun, a loose high bun, like a silk scrunchie on the top of my head, scarf and bonnet, call it a day. All right, so that was our last leave-in butter flash sales. So if you missed any of the flash sales or anything, they will be on, we will be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. We're dropping episode 2 of Hair Growth 101, so check it out. It will be myths that you believe about hair growth that keep your hair short. We will be talking about each and every one of them. Yeah, and if you want us to talk about any specific myths, just come ready with your questions. But that's it. I'm going to go ahead and pray us out. We're on TikTok and YouTube, so everybody bow your heads. You need Jesus. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us all to come together to learn about hair growth and learn how to just feel confident in the way that you made us. You made no mistakes when it came to us, whether it was our skin color, whether it was our hair texture, whether it was the phase we are in with our hair growth journeys right now. There are no mistakes every season that you use. I pray that you allow everyone in here to have gotten some helpful information to be able to apply to their hair growth journey, to be able to see results in 2026. I pray that you continue to cover everyone, especially in regards to mental health, depression, anxiety, anything. Everybody is worthy. Everybody is a child of God. Everybody is loved, and everybody has a purpose. I pray that you continue to protect our physical bodies, our health. I pray that any health goals we had this year, give us the discipline to stay consistent with them. Please allow us to leave 2026 better than the way that we entered it. And I pray most of all that you allow us to continue to be witnesses for you and continue to share the good news about how you sent your son down on the cross for our sins so that we could have eternal life, something we did not deserve. And I thank you for that every single day. And please forgive us for taking that for granted every single day as well. And just forgive us for all of our sins as well. I pray that you keep us until we meet again, which will be tomorrow, 7 p.m. Amen. Alrighty, guys. That is it. And again, for those of you who follow me on my personal pages, I will be back next week on my personal pages. So I have a lot of fun announcements for you guys. You guys will be happy with the way that I'm coming back. Just know that. It took me a minute. But we'll be back next week. And yeah. Alright, guys. See you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Myths You Believe About Hair Growth That Keep Your Hair Short is episode number 2. And we will also do more flash sales and deals in case you missed anything. All right, you guys. Have a great night. I will see you tomorrow. For my YouTube girlies, I will see you guys tomorrow as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you want flash sales, deals, anything like that, it will be on TikTok. And these hair growth lives will be saved as well, so you can always come back and look at the information. All right, guys. Have a great night. I will see you